I'd like to call this session the Board of Revision to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. With me today via Zoom are Diane Knight and Ron Merrick. My name is Harvey Diamond, and our administrative assistant is Jason Robertson. The City Assessment Department, also attended by Zoom, is Victoria Hall. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note that you are placed in the waiting room until your problem is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing is concluded, you can leave the meeting. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the assessment rule in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested will be described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons and assessments of properties are not considered as evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at the hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to an application for exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed in each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by any questions. Each side will be given an opportunity to summarize if they wish to do so. Once all the evidence upon an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The person will repeat each item on the docket today. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. We receive the Board's decision by written mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of a public record. And today we'll be hearing all the items of item number 2 on the agenda, meaning 1 to 9 with 2 not being heard. And Mr. Robertson, you can swear in the parties as soon as you can. No? Thank you.
Madam Assessor,
Hello,
please state your full name.
Victoria Ho.
Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name. Do you affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated.
So you had already indicated before we opened the hearing, there were some matters that were agreed upon, and you wish to put those, you wish to deal with those first before we deal with the next matters. So you may begin.
Excuse me, Harvey, can you speak into the microphone, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Diane, okay, I can. If anybody hasn't heard me.
That's better. Thank you.
Yeah, instead of looking at the screen, I guess I'll have to go forward. So there are some matters I understand that the parties wish to deal with before the contested matters. So Ms. Ho, you can bring those up at this point and we'll deal with them.
The agent on behalf of the owners and I have come to agreements to place a joint recommendation on the following roll numbers. For files, would you prefer if I list out the files first, or do you want me to?
Agenda numbers would be terrific. We can do those.
An address, please.
Okay, so file number 22-928, address 110 Princess Avenue, Unit 101. Value under appeal was $536,000. We came up with a joint recommendation of $491,000.
And we're in agreement, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry?
We're in agreement.
Okay.
File 22-904. Address is 270 Waterfront Drive, Unit 102. We have the appeal value under 336,000. We have a joint recommendation of 299,000.
And we're in agreement with 299,000.
Okay, Ms. Holmes, let's second that. Adam, is there any more?
Yep. File 22-895. Address 270 Waterfront, Unit 108. Value under appeal is 263,000. We came with a joint recommendation of 192,000.
And we're in agreement.
Okay. Okay, next.
Next is file number 22875. Unit. Okay, so this is address 1015 Wilkes, but there's no proper civic address for the following three properties. So I'm just going to read out the roll numbers for these ones. 12097525700. Value under appeal is 699,000. We came to a joint recommendation of 605,000.
We're in agreement.
Okay.
File number 22-874. Again, address 1015 Wilkes Avenue. Roll numbers 12097525800. Appealed value is 487,000. We came up with a joint recommendation of 424,000.
And we're in agreement.
Okay.
I think I put down the wrong. Okay. Sorry, the previous file number was 22876 for the roll number ending at 800. Current file number that I'm going to be reading is file 22-874, 1015 Wilkes Avenue. Roll number is 12097525500. The value under appeal was 709,000. We came to a joint recommendation of 619,000.
619?
619.
619?
And we're in agreement.
Okay. And that's all the matters that you have agreement on?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna, Mr. Barrett, any questions to the assessor on any of these changes?
I just have a, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I just have a couple questions. This is all, the agreements are achieved by what common denominator in there? Is it the, what exactly is it that changed the values?
A lot of the retail properties that have not been doing very well during COVID. We both came to an agreement that there's a risk in purchasing these type of properties during the reference period.
Okay, so what changed, the income or the cap rate?
In some cases, it's either the valuation has been based. So some of them were on a direct comparison approach in how the model has derived. So I switched over to an income valuation, and we have changed the cap rates.
All right,
So, Mr. Merritt, I can help a little bit further on that. It was based on a comprehensive review of all the valuation factors, and in some cases, there had been some vacancy issues. In other cases, it was a matter of adjusting capitalization rates, and those are the two most typical when we were looking at this group.
So, Mr. Reimer, you concluded value based on several factors. Then there's
Exactly.
There's not one factor. Okay.
That's right. From the way that we value the final assessments that we agreed upon, it was a variety of factors. Yeah.
I thank you, Mr. Remmer. Ms. Ho, thank you very kindly. Thank you.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
So I guess my only question, and I think it's clarification. So basically, the value has been altered because of implications from COVID. Is that what I'm to understand?
Certainly, our review was, and so there's two main factors that are resulting from COVID that resulted in adjustments that we made. One related to vacancy in a couple of cases, the other related to cap rate. And it was because of the economic conditions as of April 1, 21. Exactly.
COVID,
right.
yeah, the COVID was the main impetus behind it.
It was certainly a very significant consideration of our end. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we can then go on with the first matter that is to be determined by us today. So, the first matter that hasn't been agreed upon. That's all.
Okay, so we're reviewing the file number 22-900 for roll number 13096098900 for address 270 Waterfront Drive, Unit 106. Value under dispute is as of April 1st, 2021. Assessed value at $256,000. As you can see, based off of on page 2, I asked for that the revised assessment to be based on income valuation of $254,000 because we switched from a direct comparison approach to an income valuation to make all the other. To be equitable with all the other properties that were under review. Now, on page 4, I have some comparable rents located close by in the Exchange District, 179 Bannatyne and 177 Lombard. These are restaurant-like properties that have been renting during the reference period, and you can see on page 5 the workup for the rent and the estimated value of $254,000. And on page 7, you can see our table for cap rates in comparison with Collier, CBRE, and Cushman and Wakefield. And then you have page 9, there is some aerial view maps of the subject property. Page 11 to page 13 to 16 actually is all the responsive income and expense mailers from the property owner. And that's the conclusion of my presentation. Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Wyman?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to preface my comment on just to give the board a sense of my situation at present as a result of discussions with and instructions from the owner subsequent to the submission to this board, but just prior to this hearing. We will be very, very brief in both our comments and questions, and just ask the board to note the presentation, all this group submissions in its materials. So predicated on that, I do not have any further questions at this time.
Thank you. Any questions, Ms. Knight?
No questions at this time.
Mr. Merritt, do you have any questions?
Pardon me?
I said, Mr. Merritt, do you have any
Oh,
questions?
sorry.
No problem.
He's here, but he's not.
Okay. Well, I think we have to get him back to see further.
We'll go into a brief recess.
Okay, Mr. Merritt, do you have any questions of the assessor on her evidence?
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So I have a question. I noticed that your comparative properties show average rental value of somewhere probably around $16 stops, and you've got this potential rent based on a monthly rental of $918 a square foot. So I'm just wondering why you have a higher rate than your comparables.
It's being assessed as a C4 standard restaurant. It should be corrected to C2 to standard finish office or retail unit. So if it was assessed if it was corrected, it'd be probably closer to the $18.
Okay. And have you got any comparables that show that it would be $18?
All that I have right now is what I submitted today.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Reimer, that's my question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As previously commented on by me, what I'm asking the board today to do is note for the record the submissions that have been filed by Altus, including the non-recoverable study, but I would just ask that those documents be noted. And I'm going to, for the moment, I will reserve my comments to those. Thank you.
So that completes your
It does.
Okay. I don't know if you have any questions on that. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Ho, you on with the next item on the agenda?
All right, the next item is file number 22-898 for roll number 13096090300 for address 270 Waterfront Drive, Unit 110. Value under dispute is $340,000 for the reference year for the roll year 2023. We are asking to confirm the assessment at $340 based off of the April 1st, 2021 market. As you can see on my page, on page 5, my workup for the income valuation is higher than what is suggested for our dispute. But because it's within 5% of our assessment of the assessment range, we're not seeking for an increase. As you can see on page 4, sorry for flipping back and forth, page 4, there we have our comparables of properties that are more like office style and mostly office style comparables within the Exchange District, ranging from $15 to $22.50. And you can see on page 7, we have our capitalization rates with City of Winnipeg comparing to Colors, comparing to CBRE and Cushman Wakefield. Page 9 and 10, you can see the pictures of the subject property. And then on page 11 to page 16 are the response from the property owner for our income and expense mailers. And that's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reimer, any questions?
For the reasons previously given, I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Barrett, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No, not at this point.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
And I don't either, so thank you. And Mr. Reimer.
If I could ask that the documents submitted be noted for the record, and that would conclude my comments at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Ho, the next application?
That is all.
That's all.
I thought we did. That's all. Just two. Okay, well then we've heard all matters that have been on the agenda, and we'll close this hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.